Hello, to those who might be watching this later. Decided to burn the boxes. They've been in the fire pit for a few days. I think it's the first time I've actually live streamed since mid-December, near the end of December, maybe. It's been a while. Man, I was hoping I was sitting farther away. I wouldn't get the heat on me, but man. Whew. Hey, Unhinged, how are you doing, darling? I've been seeing your uploads and live streams lately. Haven't really said anything, but I've dropped by and given you a like and whatnot and watched a little bit. I've just been kind of withdrawn for the last few months. I've been trying to at least pull myself together enough to show people with quiet support, even if it's not noticeable. Meow meow, buddy. Man, that fire is getting good. I only put a little bit of rubbing alcohol. Sorry about that. Apparently my connection out here is a little bad, from the house. Shit, it's trying to cut out on me. The signal comes and goes, sorry. I probably should have waited till it was a little darker for the fire to show up better, but if I waited too long, I would just be out of the mood to do it all together. I know myself. Oh, excuse me. It's warm. I don't know what the temperature is. It's probably at least 80 degrees right now, is my guess. Darn, I keep getting notifications on this phone. I do need to burn some of this wood. It's just piles and piles of kindling. Hey, RC Scott, how are you doing, sugar? I hope you're doing good. Man, my notifications are going crazy on my phone. I was trying to use my other phone for this, but for some reason the camera's not working. It's weird. Like the camera works if I take a picture or whatever, but like if I actually try to do this, the front and back camera come out green. And I've tried fixing it. I've tried shutting my phone off and starting it again. Pretty much all one can do on a troubleshoot, and I just cannot get it to do it. So I had to use my TikTok phone for this. because one, this phone's a little better for things like TikTok, and two, I don't necessarily want TikTok connected to a phone to use for communications generally. Just makes me feel better, even though they can probably spy on all our shit, but it makes me feel like I'm at least, you know, not making it super easy, I guess. Because this phone doesn't have a whole lot on it. It has no actual phone service. It just uses Wi-Fi. Man, those cardboard boxes went down pretty quick. Dang. I'm trying to decide how lazy I am, whether or not I'm going to scoop up some of that kindling and throw it in. Like, I think I might. Because the ground is still pretty damp because it's rained here for the last couple of days. Like, it didn't rain today, but the ground is still dark and damp. Man, these notifications are going nuts. I put up a TikTok video yesterday making fun of Dianne Feinstein, but adding at the end that I feel kind of bad for her because she looks fucking rough. And apparently that video was funnier than I had given it credit for. So like usually my views are around 200 to 400 views. And this video making fun of Dianne Feinstein is like 12,300 views. I'm like, son of a bitch. In my world, that's viral because, you know, the bar is so low. Hey, Daniel, how are you doing today? I only got two hands. Lord, I'm getting all these notifications from YouTube. Yeah, sorry, if I go over there, I lose signal. This is about where I have to be to keep the signal on my phone, or else it just cuts out. So I may have to put the phone down for. Hey, Hector, how are you? Sorry, the Wi-Fi right here is real bad, so it keeps cutting out like crazy. The other phone would have been better, but the screen's not work, or the camera's not working on it. It's not connecting to StreamYard, so it just comes out green, which is weird. So they're trying to put wood in there, but if I go over there, it's gonna like kill the signal. Good Lord, all these YouTube notifications I'm getting. Crap. Guess I'll try to put y'all like right here on the car for a minute. I'll be right back. Oh, yeah, I guess it was going to go bad eventually. Well, I guess we can just dump it out in the grass somewhere. I had to put my phone down. I'm live streaming, but I have like if I go over here, the signal dies. No, they can see the sky. I have it on the windshield right there. I meant to empty out the plastic.
I meant so bad though.
You're not supposed to throw the plastic out with it. You just empty the food and then throw the plastic in the trash. Goodness, girl. Well, you got to support service. Well, I'm sorry, kitten. Hey, Kronos. Well, the fire's going to take a bit to get started again, I guess. I think the wood's wet. I had the car or the phone on the car. That's not a tornado. Well, that's some blue sky right there, but it is Oklahoma, so we never can be sure. I'm not sure what the deal is, but not to jinx ourselves, but we don't generally get fire rate. Probably a little bit. Like it's kind of smoldering at the moment. I'll probably get some of that kindling over there. It looks a little drier. That stuff's kind of meh. But yeah, we've been having tornadoes all around Oklahoma the last 2 or 3 days, but thankfully none of them ever seem to come near this area. There's some kind of weird spot right here. And my boyfriend thinks it might be something to do with the riverbed being next to us. It's kind of a, I wouldn't say a canyon, but it's got a canyon shape to it. So you're streaming wood. Yeah, I guess so. Love a good fire pit. How are you doing, Lovecraft? I hope you're doing good today. Glad y'all are here. This is the first time I've actually fired up my own live stream. I tried to the other day, but the camera wasn't working on my phone, so I don't really count that. So I haven't really live streamed since like mid-December. It smells heavy. If the pine was green, it would smell pretty good, in my opinion. Like, I think this is mostly, I don't know what kind of wood this is. It's like walnut, and I don't know, it's some kind of trash wood. Like it doesn't smell too, I don't know. It doesn't smell overly exceptional, I suppose. But I will always be a fan of a smell of like fresh cut grass and rain. Hey, Brett. Hey, Bone. How are y'all? Lots of hugs to y'all. I wish the fire was looking a little nicer. But like if I go past this area right here, like the internet signal from over there just shuts off. Pine is soft. I think some of it might be pine. I don't know. I mean, I don't think we actually have pine cones, so I guess maybe that's not pine. Or maybe there's different kinds of pine. I am not an arborist, so I am shit at explaining, like, knowing what's what. Like, that's some kind of evergreen, but I don't know what kind. And there's probably 2 or 3 trees mixed into one, strangely enough. And I forgot how much this phone overheats when I live stream. Fuck. And it's humid out here. Whew. But I'd rather have this than cold air, so I guess I can't complain too much. All right, now that I'm done on my knee, now that I'm done with my cigarette, I guess we can try to gather some wood. That looks like smaller, easier to grab stuff. You aren't supposed to make s'mores with the derp phone. Yeah, that's true. It is a little bit of a derp phone. If a signal cuts out, I'm sorry that it does that from over here. So let's hope that I can get some of this wood without. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, there's, like I said, there's like a hard line where that internet just cuts out, and it's just so yeah. If I try to get wood, it goes out. There's like no gray area. You jinxed. Oh, no, it's not Kronos' fault. I have a problem. Oh, it's okay. I don't know, maybe later if I end the stream, I'll just pile in a whole bunch of wood over there and then I'll start us back up. Whew. I really wish my other phone would work because it doesn't overheat as bad, but like I said, the camera's not working on it. Like it'll take pictures and video and everything, but for some reason it's not connecting to StreamYards and I have no idea why. I even checked its permissions and everything, but it's just, I don't know. Hey, Socks, what are you doing? Alistair, how are you doing, honey? Hello Kitty leggings. It's not Hello Kitty leggings, it's Hello Kitty pajama pants. I'm not a leggings kind of girl. There are some people who can wear leggings and some that can't. I am the cannot. And I accepted that a long time ago. I forget what it was that I heard. Spandex is a privilege, not a right. I think that's what it is. But it's all good though. Because honestly, I think if I wore leggings, I wouldn't like it because I'd like my legs to breathe. Maybe some gasoline. I prefer something that burns a little more clean. Whatever you call it. Lots of people are having problems with StreamYard. Oh, when I use my account on this phone, it works. But on the other phone, it just has a fit. And I have no idea what happened to it. I'm doing good at just doing my usual and waiting for someone to come and ask me to continue watching the Cuphead show. I have never heard of a Cuphead show. Sounds interesting. Well, it sounds odd, but you know. I like you like lighter fluid. I try to prefer charcoal fluid. Yeah, I try to like avoid like oil-based type stuff for the most part. Hi, Dankers. I don't know where the third cat's at. I think she's still in the lawn chair. She loves that lawn chair. I guess I'll might try to give it a wee blast and see what happens, I suppose. I guess it didn't have quite enough fire. All right. It's a cartoon based on a video game that's basically old rubber cartoon. Okay. There we go. That perked it up. Oh, the ones from the 30s, 40s, and 50s. Oh. Don't light Dankers. I would not ever light little Dankers. I don't even know where he went. Dankers, where'd you go? Oh, he's blending into the wood. He's the same color as the wood over there. We don't need more. Well, I mean, the ground's still pretty damp, so we probably wouldn't have any problems. And we keep the wood at least a reasonable distance away from the fire, for obvious reasons, of course. Whew. There we go. Can you name that tune in 0 notes? I swear there's a few people on that show that just about could. Some get it so quick, I'm like, how? And I can't even accuse them of cheating because, like, I assume to cheat, they would at least have to have more than a note to go by. I have no idea how. It barely. I assume the same way everybody else does, between knowing it and getting lucky, although sometimes I'm wrong. There's been a couple of times I think when I hit the thing and then I didn't, like, the answer escaped me and I was like, fuck. I think it's only happened once or twice, I think. Last time I felt humorously ambushed because, like, I was doing all right and then they were like bringing Tom on as a surprise. I'm like, son of a bitch. Did I lose? No, I did not. I did not lose last time, surprisingly. Even when they brought Tom on. I got lucky because they played stuff that I guess I knew, because I mean, I'm sure he knows a lot of songs, but there's probably some songs he knows better than other ones. You know what I mean? Hey Jens, how are you doing, darling? But like, I guess they happened to play stuff that I guess I was lucky enough to recognize a little quicker than him, so I did win, surprisingly. What are you complaining about? I'm not really complaining. I'm just talking, silly. I didn't want to say, heck yeah, I won. It sounds like prideful and bragging, and I was not trying to sound that way. Because you're not pride if you don't, maintain some pride and some humble behavior. Like, I'm always afraid I'll get kind of, I guess, punished for it, like karma-wise. So I try to avoid that. So I was trying to sound wishy-washy, I guess. I like being silly. Leave me be. All right, I will do. Yeah, I think I will pile some more wood in there when the fire dies down. Let the phone have a chance to like cool down here in a little bit. I figured I'd at least, get the evening kicked off by saying hi to y'all. You gonna cook anything on the fire? No, thankfully not this time. Our stove works. Yeah, trying to cook food on open fire is definitely something that takes time to figure out properly. Man, I'm surprised the food came out edible at all. Because I think if I remember correctly, I think we cooked spaghetti because like the power was out in the house or something. Well, something happened because we have gas for the stove and you can just use a lighter to light that when they. But yeah, I think the gas and everything was out. Although next time I have that issue, I should probably use this cast iron pot that we have. I've never used it, but it looks good for like camping. It's got like, it's a fairly deep pot, about that deep of a pot, and a little lid on it, and probably would have been a lighter to use. And maybe not, and maybe just something that you can cook into one container, not like two, like spaghetti. Well, maybe you can do spaghetti in one container. I don't know. That poor fire. I think some of the wood is still a little bit damp, to be honest. Plus, it'll probably look better when it's darker. Which we probably have another 20 minutes before it gets darker. Like noticeably darker. My guess, anyway. Cooling down quickly though, it's very nice. What temperature is it where you guys are at? I know Jens is gonna give it to me in freaking Celsius, so I'm gonna have to just try to guess at that one. Takes the potatoes, wrap them in foil. Honestly, I avoid tinfoil like the absolute plague. You'll probably think I'm silly, but aluminum is neurotoxic, and I theorize that, especially if your food is acidic at all or it has a lot of heat, that sometimes the aluminum can leak into the food, and over time end up building up in your system. So that's not like a pet peeve of mine. So I avoid tinfoil. I use steel or cast iron pots or whatever, but I absolutely avoid tinfoil. Don't like foil. Yeah, I don't. I try to avoid anything. I don't. Even when I did drink soda, I don't anymore. But when I did, I tried to avoid aluminum cans. Like I think it's probably better. It probably tastes better and probably is better for you to drink like out of a glass bottle. So I mean, there's so many things that in this world that are neurotoxic and bad for you. I try to avoid them where I can. I know nothing's perfect, but it makes me feel like I'm making some small effort. It's not tin. Tin is bad. No, aluminum too. If you look it up, aluminum is neurotoxic. I promise that it is. It's in a lot of things, but a lot of times they measure and they're like, oh, individually, this one item is not too high or whatever. But they don't, I don't think they calculate how many items a person uses in a day that has aluminum in it. Like deodorant without aluminum is endorsed by the American Breast Cancer Society or something, which tells me that aluminum might contribute to people getting breast cancer. So I use deodorant that does not have that in it. There's times when I couldn't find natural deodorant that I made my own with baking soda and coconut oil. It's not perfect, but it gets the job done. And you mostly find it not necessarily in your deodorants, but your antiperspirants. I don't drink alcohol, but I would suggest if someone drank it, they should drink it out of a bottle. I quit drinking 2016, 2017. I was a heavy drinker. Like in a day, I would take down like 13 shots of tequila. But I cut that completely out of my life and soda with it. But tequila didn't come in a can. So even when I was like not taking care of my liver in that regard, I was still avoiding the aluminum. Doing okay, Maura, although I was in a disagreement with a Soy Fi Nation. Okay, I gotcha. Took me a second to sound that out. He has a YouTuber on who is from the UK. It was a right soy. And I call him out. Soy-fi. That's clever to say soy-fi instead of sci-fi. That's funny. Like I'm not jumping on the bandwagon hassling the guy or anything, but your word usage is cute. I do find it funny. Yeah, I've been hearing that he's been hanging out with is it safe to call them alt left? Like I'm not sure what the alt part is of that situation. Like I have to look up where that part comes from. But yeah, I've heard he's been hanging out with some, I guess, alt left type people in the last like 6 months or so. Like it's brought up to me in like casual conversation. Oh, I'm sorry you're not doing better. I hope you feel better soon. What's wrong? Maybe you need to like hydrate or maybe have some ginger if your stomach needs settling. Well, I hope you get better soon either way. Remember to stay hydrated. Lots of hugs to you. You're alt independent. I'm gonna have to look that up because like back in my day, you just had your right, your left, and your independent. Now they've got like alt right, you got right, alt right. Like I don't know if they're saying that there's right and then there's like a branch off to be alt right. Like I am kind of curious about that. Alternative. Okay, that's what I was kind of wondering because people use right and alt right like interchangeably, and I'm trying to get a handle on that, like understanding that terminology. Because I guess you got your left, and then you got your like your extra left, which is what I always call them, and your right and your extra right. Because folks do get kind of extra on both sides. Holy fuck. I mean, I'm Republican and I've seen it in my own party, and I'm like, holy shit. Like there's some people going crazy and accusing kids who have autism of being like evil. It's weird. And it's like because the kid can't settle down or stay seated. That seems excessive. You know, it's weird. They think they're like got like biblical monsters making them act that way. It's like, man, you wouldn't know we were in the 21st century. Holy shit. It's not. And medical illness, it's how you would describe not really depressed, but not like an upset stomach. It's just malaise. The big oh, I get that. Yeah, I do feel I call it being blah because I can't really put my finger on it. Like it doesn't feel as defined as depression. I just feel blah, to be honest. Right versus left is the problem and absolutely not the solution to any of the all, oh, anything at all. Until we set aside and move past left, right garbage, we're screwed. That is so correct. That is, I mean, I can understand being on like a little bit on the left or a little bit on the right just to have a little balance, but the extremes that they both go to are insane. And it's pushed. It is pushed by our social media. It is pushed by, I guess, actors. I guess this is like, I don't know. In my day, it was called a. It's been a while. I forget. It's a person that goes in and gets shit stirred up to cause division and causes, you know, just, I forget the term is used for it, but these days they call them bad actors, is what they call them. And yeah, you'll have. I mean, we even heard about some TikTokers being paid by the government to go on and make TikTok videos about political shit just to get sway their viewers a certain way. And everybody's given half the facts. Like I've heard my side going, oh no, Title 42 is going to end, which means we're going to have a whole bunch of immigration coming in. And it's like, do you not remember we have an Article 8 that's supposed to stop that? And they act like it doesn't exist. Agent provocateurs, that's the word. Thank you, Brett. Thank you. That's the word. Yeah, that's the term back like 10, 15 years ago people were using. So now they just call them bad actors. I think agent provocateur just sounds fancy, kind of posh, a little pinky up. But yes, thank you. I could not think of the word for the life of me. Thank you, Brett. You are a VIP or MVP. Yeah, you know what I mean. Excuse me. But yeah, they got people. I mean, I don't have a problem with people putting in their opinions occasionally. Like, don't get me wrong. I put my opinions on TikTok, but they're my opinions. No one's paying me for it. But when you push one idea and you're trying to drill it into people who look up to you and you're using scare tactics instead of just, you know, just being honest about shit. I have a thing for words. I'm glad you do, because I, at that moment, certainly did not. More. I do not. A mosquito tried to get me. That was a big fucking mosquito. Holy shit. That was actually so big. Was that actually a mosquito? Because it was shaped like one, but that thing was fucking big. Like we in South America? Because I theorize that the further south you go, the bigger the bugs get. Like in New Orleans, I've seen roaches like this fucking long. We're here in Oklahoma, they don't get any bigger than this. Thank God we don't have that issue here. Whew. But yikes. And New Orleans, the roaches fly, which is just fucked up. Like, that's just not right. It's like, how can we make something this horrible worse? Oh, let's give it the ability to fly. Fuck. Was eat a vampire. Oh, was it a vampire mosquito? You know, is that actually a thing, or are you being funny? Because I actually don't know. And when you go to Australia, the bugs are right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you go so far south, you end up on a different continent. Man, the snakes and the spiders like go at each other and kill each other. They fly. Well, this is back in 2000. I was down in New Orleans, and man, I saw roaches fly, and I was like, oh, sweet Jesus. That's not, no. My delicate sensibilities. Lord have mercy. Left and right have both good policies, but both are far too much. Yeah, we need a little more centering. Like, I understand a little teetering now and then to keep things balanced. I mean, I get that. But man, I tell you what, sometimes it just goes to straight propaganda. Next week, it'll be my buddy's mom's birthday. Well, happy birthday to your buddy's mom. That is awesome. I heard something funny one time. I'm trying to remember how it said. Studies show that the more birthdays you have, the longer you're alive, or something like that. It was something silly like that. And I had to hear it twice before I realized they were just fucking with me on that. Tag of the vampire mosquitoes. Man, don't give these mosquitoes any ideas, man. They're trying to give me the yellow fever if they get the chance. Man, I actually heard they were going to try to put yellow fever on the routine vaccine schedule. That is so fucking weird. That is something you give to people who are going to like exotic places. Like that's not generally something you would put on a routine vaccination here in America. So I just thought that was strange. I just wanted to share that weird tidbit with you that I read somewhere. I was like, what the fuck? Because I mean, we're in America. We're not that tropical. So why in the world they would give you something for a tropical disease? Or because it's not, I mean, yellow fever has not been something really in America in probably over 150 years. You know, sanitation helps. I agree. Balance and moderation. Oops, gotta scroll back to that. Should be the standard with different tittering happen on special occasions, correct? There is no left or right. The people that actually run the show, not the government, right, are neither left nor right. I don't know. I think some of their views will probably be left, some of it would be right, but they're never going to let it ever get too much of one or the other because they got to keep the fight going because as long as we're divided, we're going to keep fighting and we're going to be distracted. So they won't let us agree on anything because they've got it set up in such a way that if it goes one way completely or one way the other completely, they've got a contingency plan for that. Like let's take account the conversation people have been having for a long time about a civil war happening here. So if theoretically, if we just do nothing, they're going to do whatever they want. But if we rise up and do something, they have a contingency plan already for that. So no matter what we choose, you know, they'll probably win. I mean, I hate to be depressing. I hate the idea of it, but they have a lot more equipment and information than we do. So that would suck. I wouldn't want it to ever get to that. We need less government. God, that is the truth, Kronos. Oh my goodness, that's true. And not even the American South is that tropical, right? I mean, it is. But again, I mean, with sanitation and advancements on a lot of things, that's not something that pops up much. You are not gonna black pill me. I don't even know what that means. I've heard of red pill and blue pill, but I don't know about the black pill part. I don't know what that actually means. But yeah, actually, Louisiana, back I think about 150 years ago, they had a real bad epidemic of yellow fever. It was so bad that the bodies were piling up faster than they could bury them properly. So they got a lot of shallow graves, and it ended up backfiring terribly because they're prone to hurricanes, and so it caused a lot of the bodies to float up and end up everywhere. It was pretty nasty. That's why a lot of the graves in New Orleans are above ground vaults. Yeah, I think it was about 150 years ago that happened. But everything's pretty much chilled out since then. Once our fall of the Roman Empire phase is over, I'm just hoping we can actually get along again. Depends on what's waiting for us when it's done. It's depressing, peeps. Oh, it's depressing peeps into not wanting to do basically like voting. Oh, do anything like basically voting, right? I mean, I forget who it was. I don't know if it was Harriet Tubman or someone similar to her, but this one lady a long time ago said, do not think for 1 minute that they'll let you vote away their power. And it's true. If a vote's not going the way, they'll have set up contingencies for that. Generally, they'll have somebody in both parties that will control the situation if that person wins. And if they think it's not going to go their way, they'll probably fudge it. And honestly, if you think about it, cheating a vote is pretty easy in a way because it's not like any of us are going to go door to door and with surveys and ask people how did they vote. So we'll never be able to actually get the correct numbers if we actually tried. So they can technically say that 3 million people voted when only 2 did, for instance, because we're not going to be able to prove different. Hey, Optic, how are you doing, darling? Lots of hugs to you. Glad you are here. Man, this phone's like draining. Like the hotter this thing gets, the more it's draining power. So I'm at 46%. Usually it gets about to, hey, Tony Nasser, how are you, sweetheart? Glad you were here. Sorry, the fire is not that impressive. If I do, like when my phone starts to die, I'll say goodbye to y'all and I'll try to put more wood in it and maybe have a fire later on. I don't know. It depends on who all is going to be live tonight because I don't want to. I mean, it's not like I am impressive enough to step on anyone's toes, but I wouldn't want it to look like I was trying to either. But maybe get the fire built up, get this phone charged up a wee bit. Because I don't know what's going on with the other phone, to be honest. I don't know why it doesn't work. You need a longer cord. Well, I think we do have a extension cord that would actually come out here. But if I have it plugged in while it's live streaming, it will overheat like crazy. It'll be almost twice as bad as it is now. And then it starts lagging. It's a whole shit show, to be honest, Darlin. And if Raquel's up to it, perhaps you can hop on and visit with y'all as well. I've hung out with her live streams more recently than I have my own, but I've been so withdrawn lately that like I've been kind of falling short of being a friend to her. But I think she's kind of been doing her own thing anyway. So hopefully, she doesn't feel like I've been a dick to her because I'm not trying to be. I've just been sort of like isolating myself, I guess is really the right term. And everyone gives me pretty good space about that. So I usually end up having to pull myself out of it because I know that nobody else wants to be pushy and trying to pull me out of it. You can get a battery charger. I do have a battery charger. Yeah. Oh wait, are you talking about those little battery pack things that you can charge up and then you can just attach that battery pack to the phone? Is that what you're meaning? Because I did have one of those and then I lost it. Because thankfully it was only on sale for like $2 at Walmart, so it wasn't a huge loss when I lost it. It's probably fallen behind a dresser or something, to be honest. Sorry. Got that edema in the chest. Fluid buildup for those who aren't feeling fancy. I do take medication for it. I just probably need here in a little bit, take another half pill. Gonna step out, been doing dishes after dinner, but need to go do something before I go live in a bit here. It was nice seeing you as well. I will try to come by and say hi to you. I had that one you can plug into a wall. No, it's about the size of 4 cigarette packs. Yeah, I think the one I had was similar to that, but like it was like the size of 2. Bob, move. Hold on. My cat is in the way of the. Come on, Bob. Move it along. Move it along. There you go. All right, there we go. The cats like to get in the way. Man, it's humid out here. It's like legs are a little sweaty. Meow, Kronos. Lots of hugs, Brett. Now, oh, we did get a wee flame from that, just a little one. Yeah, that fire is about dead. It's trying to revive. It's trying to come back. I think if I pile some wood on there, I think it'll get better. Some of that stuff's a little bit bristly right there because it's little pine needles. I'll probably have to use some kind of shovel pitchfork type thing and move it in there. Down to 38%. When it gets close to 20 and I'm live streaming, it kills off pretty quick. I like the phoenix. Except the fire is trying to rise out of the ashes. Got little tree frogs. I think they're talking because I hear one over there and one over there. Oh, and I heard one over that way. Rest in peace, Groot. Now I feel bad. Even though I know it's just wood, now you made me feel bad about it. Now I'm like, oh, dang. Poor Groot. 'Kind of early for me to yawn. Huh. I'm glad that wasn't a tornado. Yeah, I think we're gonna have a thunderstorm later. I don't know when it's coming in. If it's coming in pretty soon, I won't be able to do more fire out here. Because it did warn warn of a thunderstorm, but I don't know like if it's in the middle part where I'm at or like some other area. I probably should have looked at the radar, but I have not yet. I just saw a notification for it. Whew. 32%. Yeah, it's starting to drop a bit quick now. Well, if I do another stream out here, I probably will bring my tripod just so the heat from my hand isn't gonna add to the heat of the phone. Yeah, I think that fire is pretty dead. Like it's still smoking and smoldering, but it's kind of. I wonder what the wheelbarrow is. Because I could pile a bunch of stuff from there to the wheelbarrow and then just dump it in there. Yes, dear. Yep. Just be safe and be careful. Okay, so apparently my phone while it's live streaming will die at 32%. I thought it had at least till the 20s before it would die. So sorry about that. Anyway, but I'll end the live stream here. Lots of hugs to y'all.